YouTube, and welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey. As always, I appreciate you guys joining us today. And welcome to all of our new subscribers. Thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Well, got a little short edition for you today. You see the Nova looks a little bit different back here. Let me get this jack out of the way. I want you to get the full effect of it. But the Nova is getting a little facelift. And I got my son-in-law over here doing slave labor. You barely can see him right there. There he is. That's my son-in-law, Heath Thompson. He married my daughter, Ashlyn. And he does decals. It's very nice to have a decal man in the family. So he is going to turn us into something a little bit different. I hate losing my old retro decals from back in 1984. I'll show you a picture of that car here in a minute. But we had to do this for our sponsorship lineup this year because we had a new sponsor come on board for us this year that's going to be on Trent's car, on Trent's Pro Mod. So I had to pick up the slack and turn my Nova into a real car that we can use for some promotional stuff this year. So, see what it looks like now? And we'll show you what it looks like here in just a few minutes. Be right back with you. All right, here's the Nova as you are familiar with it. And as we completed it last year when we did a total frame-off restoration. But there's a reason why the car looks like this. There's actually not a Humphrey Auto Salvage. That was a small salvage yard that my family owned back in the early 80s. But there's a reason why this car was decaled in this way. I first started racing dirt in 1983. I'd raced motorcycles up to that point. But in 1984, we built this car for the 1984 season. It was a Nova, and now it was a Gen 2 Nova. But this is where the paint scheme came from for the 67 Nova that we restored. And the reason this car is so important is this was a super stock car. It was able to run pretty much an unlimited small block motor as long as it had steel heads, and we had to run a 2-barrel, but the motors were pretty much wide open. We had racing tires. We could run those. But back in the day, it was called super stock, and you could still build these cars. It was a car you could build at home, but it wasn't a street stock. It was, kind of in between a street stock and what would be called a limited late model or something, because this was an all-steel car. I won so many races in this car, and that's why the paint scheme is so dear to me. We had the most incredible year in 1984 that anyone could ever ask for. We won some of the biggest races of the year. This particular race was the Labor Day Roundup, Labor Day weekend, and many others along the way throughout the year. This is the roof of my car from 1984, and you can see these are winter stickers for A features. I've been lucky enough to win some A features through the year, but in this one year, I won 12 A mains. We won over 30 heat races, and ultimately we were crowned the track championship there in 1984 at Boot Hill Speedway. So that's why this car and this paint scheme means so much to me. But no matter how much a paint scheme means to you or how sentimental it is, you have to take care of your sponsors. So we're going to give the Nova a little facelift so we can use it for some promotional stuff this year for our fantastic sponsors that we have for Humphrey Racing. Well, that's how she looks. As always, Heath knocked it out of the park. He has to do it old school. He has to layer the decals. He doesn't have a printer that allows him to do multicolors on one pass. But I tell you, I think the thing looks pretty daggum sweet. Very, very, very nice. Well, that was pretty cool. Heath did a fantastic job in the little facelift for the Nova. As I was saying earlier, we're going to use the Nova to help promote our sponsors this year, and we're going to do some showings with the car. And I think everyone that's seen this knows they love it, so it's going to be a big hit. We'll take it to the businesses on the side of the car, and we'll show it off there. And plus, we'll take it to the racetrack and play with it at the racetrack and let some people come up and get a close look at it at the restoration project. But hey, thanks again for watching. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you, and you take care.